Hey guys, this is Lori Starkey from the Seven Sons crew. I know I say this every time, but I am super excited to be here with one of my closest friends. DB is here with me today. She goes by a lot of other names to me, all good names. So I'm super excited for us to be doing this interview with her. We met years ago when I started writing young adult, kind of ran into her and her husband, and it was kind of magic from there on out. We have had a long friendship, and her husband and I actually started our publishing company together a few years ago, and we are the publishers for this Seven Sons journey. So, Dee, if you would like to say hello, I'm going to get you to do the 30-second rundown of your indie career. Kind of tell us where you've come from and where you are today.
Hi, my indie career started with actual traditional publishing. We started years ago when Twilight and 50 Shades came out, and Twilight went down the traditional route and 50 Shades actually started as an indie text and then went traditional. And I thought, I can do that. And so I started traditional publishing, got an agent and a publisher, but it was too restrictive. And so I started doing indie publishing instead, which has been so much fun. Met Laurie, and the rest is history.
Very cool. So originally YA, and now for this project, it's kind of like new adult, right?
Yeah. So I've been doing paranormal romance, YA, and also new adult. Yes.
Very cool. Very exciting. And of course, everything you have is published by Bricks Baxter because you are Bricks. So, all right. Tell me a little bit about Seven Sons. Which species did you choose, and why specifically did you choose that one?
I chose vampires. I love vampires. Ever since I was young and watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which now actually dates me. But vampires with Underworld and all those other fantastic films. Who can't love vampires? I mean, who doesn't love vampires? They're sexy and hot and badass and yeah, all of it.
Yeah, and dangerous, and we can do dark stuff and light stuff, and vampires. Absolutely. Yep, vampires are one of my very favorites as well. And it's funny that you mentioned, I loved Buffy too, by the way, but it's funny that you mentioned Twilight and some of those things that, kind of got vampires back into
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. And, people say that they kind of get over it, but no one really gets over it. People keep
No one gets over vampires. Vampires are the one species that fascinate people. I think mainly because they've also got a lot of humanity in them, but they're so dark.
Yes, and they're evergreen. I think they're gonna just kind of outlive all of us. So, right, literally. Okay, last question. Tell us about your favorite character that you're writing, and a little bit about him or her.
Okay, so although I really love my main protagonist, who's a badass girl, I really like two characters at the moment, so I can't choose. One of them is a romantic writer who has been reborn called Cole, and he is actually a person who writes very bad poetry, and you'd be surprised how hard it is to write bad poetry. I sound like a 6-year-old half the time. And the other character is Cooper, who is a former hunter. So Kelly Hall and I worked together to actually cross-pollinate, hybridize this character, and he became a vampire. And as a vampire, he's very interesting because he's going through an adolescent stage at the moment. So there's a lot of teen angst and hormonal stuff, and he's very horny. And so I get to write this very sexy, horny teen character for a vampire, which I really love.
Very fun. Okay, that was fantastic. Now, really quick, because we can tell you're not from Texas with an accent like me. So tell us where you're from. Where are you at?
Okay, so I'm from Sydney, Australia, but the background that you might see at the moment is in Melbourne because I'm travelling through Australia at the moment. But yeah, I'm from Sydney, and you might associate that with kangaroos and koalas and the Opera House, and we hit New Year's Eve earlier than most of you, so we're the first. And if we actually did get on a plane and fly, I could actually have 2 New Year's Eve in one day.
That is so cool. Fun facts. Well, Dee, thank you so much for joining us today. We're super excited about the vampires. They come out next spring. But you guys join us for the full Seven Sons release. We start with Kelly Hall and her hunters.
That's right.
On January 16th. So thanks again, Dee. Appreciate you big time.
Thanks.